which is obviously so important. We, like Close to Home, are always trying on many different levels to change the culture. That's our ultimate goal, is to change the culture. So in addition to educating students, it's so important to have training for faculty and administrators to have a teen dating violence policy in a school. And of course, a policy does no good if people don't know what it is and how to implement it. So that's what a good chunk of the training needs to be about. Support for victims, accountability for perpetrators, public awareness campaigns like the mural that you all do. See It and Stop It is a great website. If you're not familiar with it, it's a Massachusetts-based program that has really nice posters that you can order from them. Just something visual to post around schools, spreads the message. Articles in school newspapers, books in the library. And peer mentors as leaders and bridges to professional help. That is one of our main strategies with youth. And I'm just going to let Alden just share a little bit about her personal experience.
So I really think that the training that we do in the Student Action Board really helps out recognizing signs of abusive relationships, especially because sometimes the adults in the program don't see what goes on in the schools. So I know one other boy in the Student Action Board had a friend who came to him to tell him about her abusive relationship, and she really confided in him a lot, and eventually it was like a lot for him to handle. So he came to Mrs. Mooney, and the girl agreed to meet with Mrs. Mooney, and they met a couple times, and she's now at college, has gotten out of her relationship, she has a new boyfriend, and she's really happy. So I think that really, it shows how much the student portion really makes a difference. Also, one of my good friends is still dating a guy they've been dating for 2 years now, and I came to Mrs. Mooney to say that I think their relationship is really emotionally abusive. He's very controlling of her, and I've talked to a guidance counselor who also helps out with the Student Action Board, and he agrees that if anything ever gets more out of hand or we feel really uncomfortable with their relationship, that he'll talk to her. So it really gives us more resources for our kids in the school.
Relationship discussion group. I just put this in as an example for you. This is, we had a support group at the high school for a while. As many of you know, grants come and go, and so unfortunately programs come and go. And this was a grant, the state had a grant for a while, a teen dating violence prevention grant, and we worked with Respond to offer a support group in the high school for young women. And it's always tricky what to call it, so I thought you might like having this description, how we described it. We just called it a relationship discussion group. And this was just posted in the girls' bathrooms, and they just had to talk to the health teacher if they were interested. Community resources, we're a small agency. It's just me, and I'm full-time, and I have 4 part-time staff members, but we really do a lot because of all of our community partners and collaborators. So here are just a few that we work with that I would encourage you to work with as well. Your local domestic violence agency, if you thought about having a survivor speak, a lot of domestic violence agencies have Speakers Bureau or have people they're working with who are willing to speak, as well as many other resources for you. This is the National Teen Dating Violence Hotline if you're not already familiar with it, and what I think is pretty cool about that is their live chat, because that's the world kids live in, and so they can go on there and chat online with someone, a trained peer leader.